Episode 4, The First Harvest. Since March 16th, Peeter Kingsepp has pushed through a gauntlet of small crises. The animal transport problem that nearly halted his plan is finally solved. Wood sales have kept the farm alive, log by log, receipt by receipt, while the cost of seed and diesel bites deeper each day. Field 13 is sown now, thin green handwriting across the dark soil. In the greenhouses, life has taken hold. Trays of seedlings lean toward the light. The hives are awake, honey gathering in slow, amber circles. Around Tässi, the Tamms have begun routing decommissioned machinery into the valley, aid from nearby parishes, and even from Finland. Papers shuffle in Tallinn, land return, market rules, rationed fuel, yet none of that starts an engine. People do. April 3rd, 1992. The day begins cold, the sky low and still. On field 11, Peter marks the start of haymaking, the first real fieldwork of spring. He has felled straight trunks from the forest and raised drying poles by hand. Grass will be cut and lifted here to dry into hay, quick feed for the dairy cows that have arrived, alongside whatever the meadow can spare. The barn doors open again to new breath and quiet, patient eyes. Behind the house, Walter replants 2 apple trees, sturdy, near full grown. Their roots grip Tässi soil, their branches reach towards summers yet to come. The farm, like the country, is learning to stand on its own weight again. Fewer certainties, more choices, and work that begins before dawn and ends after dark.
Good morning, wonderful farming people, and welcome to episode 4 on Vintage Survival series. And as you can see, we are early bird in the woods. So here is another 4-tree load. I moved to take 4 trees in here, and it kind of works well. A little bit fiddling around to put those logs that they are strapped properly. But anyway, as you can see, money has gone up a little bit. But yeah, okay, somebody again put the lights on. Yeah, so I have delivered 2 loads before this to the exported wood. So I'm kind of thinking of doing like one or 2 loads a month. That would be a pretty reasonable amount. But yeah, so first one was 1887 and second one was first with 4 trees, so that was 2,483. So that's why money has gone up, but it was more. I made a mistake, a huge one, an expensive mistake. On the field on the right that you saw on the intro, I planted also there grass, and I'm gonna do it on this month also, this field probably, or that field 12. We have 2 fields left. So I hired a worker. I haven't had this appointment, and I hired a worker to cultivate this, and I had something like 3,000 on the account, And it was, I was, when I came back, I was looking at, well, why does the worker have stopped? So the worker consumed all of our cash. So yeah, on hard economy it's quite expensive, seems to be. So yeah, not good. But we got through that. So now this load is going. Now that I'm thinking, maybe I have delivered 3 loads. Yeah, I have probably forgot to put one in. Yeah, that is probably. It was 4 trees also, I think so, something like that. Or was it 3? Maybe 3. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But anyway, yeah, and then last episode I told you that I will see you in May. Well, you'll see me in May now, but the grass isn't ready. It's just on the first stage of harvest, so need to wait until June to start cutting. Yeah, but anyway, there is a couple of things to go through. But yeah, I solved the issue with the animal transport thing. And it wasn't the mod, it wasn't the map. The issue was once again between the table and the chair. So that was the issue. So the animal trailer was actually owned by the store, the Tamm family. So that's why it didn't have any pastures. Yeah, so I just changed it and now it's working. I delivered one more cow to the pasture, so now we have 3 cows just to test it out. So now it's working pretty good. And yeah, but on that note, that would be pretty good, I think, easy development for the game, that you could transfer gear, equipment between farms, like money. You could change the ownership of that, so that would be make things quite a bit easier with things like this, or as I'm playing. So it would be really awesome, but maybe somebody who cares more could send a suggestion to the Giants. I don't care. Yeah, that's how we Finnish people roll. Never complaining or suggesting anything. It's just stupid like that. But yeah, about the cost, by the way, but we are, it's not much, but we are spending $70 per day on upkeeping, so 28 times 17, well, that's something. But and also the I don't know, it just on the farm, it just looks so different, all the trees that we have here, there, and it just, I don't know, I like it. All the trees that I showed last episode, they just seem so much more lush and something different. I haven't seen the trees blossoming like that at all with this game. But yeah, I kind of like that. It's not so, it doesn't take so long just to skip the days. Maybe some long for somebody, but not for me. 2400 level, okay, good. And yeah, what I'm gonna do when we are here, by the way, there's a diesel barrel. I ran out of fuel on this yard. Actually put the worker drive here, and that is the spot where the worker stop with the empty tank, so I had to buy diesel here. I don't know how much we have it. Oh, I don't have that fucking... yeah, that... But we are gonna do this. Look at this, look at this. We're gonna go like this. Let's put the strap on there. And then we are going to buy some seed because we are going to seed that one field also. Chicken feed bags of seed. So 2 of these again. And the seeder is actually full at the moment, so a little bit storing, you know, there. So we can hook those up on the front axle. Yeah, that is good. We can take that diesel over there also. Versatile trailer. So how do I do this? Can I just put it? Come on. Stay there, stay there! Damn! Is it now too hard? Maybe, okay. Maybe I will put it like that. Okay. Center. Is it balanced? Yes, it is. And maybe we can put this guy on top. Just there. Will it hold? Yes, it will. And strap it on. Maybe it will hold. Yeah, that works pretty good. Get something going. Don't need to have to modify the trailer. Yeah. What else do I have on my notes? Yeah. So yeah, the diesel I bought that was $280, and when I seeded the field 13, I needed to buy 750 liters of seed, so it took quite a while, quite a bit. But yeah, by the way, it's 7th of October in real life here, so that's how late this episode comes out, doing this in front, quite many episodes, so it gives me a little bit of time to do something else. And, yeah, because I'm basically releasing yeah, look at that tree. I'm publishing one episode a week, and obviously now live streaming on Sundays. So yeah, that looks pretty old. I haven't seen trees in that stage. I can't remember. But anyway, yeah, yeah, the date, and actually today the 1.13 update dropped. So there was quite a little bit of changes, and something with the manual shifting with the work, or anyway with the Unimog and mods. So this guy also, we don't have any problem now. This doesn't struggle at all with the seeder. As you can remember earlier, I needed to change it to manual gearbox to get it working properly, and now this just blasts 25 kilometers per hour with that seeder, which requires 50 horsepower that we don't have. We have only 35, so I'm not sure do I like it. I'm not sure. I kind of because we are under horsepower, so I kind of would like to, you know, this struggling a little bit maybe. But yeah, it is what it is now. But I'm not gonna use the worker on that field. What is it? Well, let's see. We are going to probably do this 12 here. Yeah, and as you can see, shitload of hail damage. We have had a lot of hail. So, but it doesn't matter. It is what it is. But is that a side effect of the 28 day season that you get more damage on the crops. Maybe. I don't know. But anyway, that is it. Blabbering now of this, but yeah, I will do it now off camera, because before we can get cutting that grass, we need to wait until June. But I will just continue here today this day, and I don't want to use a worker. I will just look a little bit, watch YouTube and get it done. So yeah, that is probably the best thing to do. And maybe on next month we could, I don't know, if that one field is still what we have. I don't know, maybe I do it this month also, maybe. I don't know, we'll see. This tractor probably needs a service also. Let's service this. Why am I backing up? I don't know. Can't change it anymore. We are going like this to this. I have a workshop trigger. This one doesn't have a workshop trigger, so I have it here. So, okay, the bike is here. Repair, yep. Okay, not so bad. Yeah, okay, I will continue. I will probably do both fields. I don't know, do I have nerves left to, I don't know, do I take a worker? I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, maybe at some point, I don't know. But, yeah, we can always cut down more trees. Yeah. Okay, but I don't think I'm gonna do any montage or time lapse or anything like that, because this is pretty simple stuff. So you don't have to suffer on that. So I will just see you in June. Welcome back. Yeah, 4th of June, it's really warm weather. Yesterday it was 32 degrees and now it's 25, so really warm. So yeah, I really do like this kind of doing that this 28-day season, because the trees and all the environment doesn't go by the month, it goes by the day. So these trees don't have any more flowers, and these guys have it there, and yeah, and we already have a couple of pallets of chilies and strawberries, and tomatoes are waiting. And here we have coming 3 pallets, 3rd pallet of honey, so that is pretty awesome. And yeah, I was wondering, by the way, this meadow or grass, what is this? Because this isn't on the landscaping mode at all, but it seems that it's just this field grass which is planted. So yeah, this is ready now at the highest growth stage. So let's just start working. So money is now 5,760. So a couple of things where every field is now seeded with grass. On that field I just did the latest, And last month I did this one here, and I didn't have a nerve to do it all by myself. I used a worker, and therefore I needed to, you know, get some trees cut down. So I sold 3 loads. So first one was pretty big. It was 3,052. Second one 2,560, and third one was 2,453. And also I bought 1,000 liters of seed for that field, and yeah. So, and then we got these apple trees here. So I had a little issue with the water, that really old looking one. It didn't recognize the trigger here, so I needed to modify that. Our log trailer, it has an option to be a barrel, so that worked. I used that on this. Yeah, so those were $1,000 per pop, those trees, so there's a little something to do with pops. So yeah, so basically these trees are fields are, you know, and yeah, I by the way started to cut down the smaller trees over there, so we could at some point expand this field a little bit, maybe. We'll see. But yeah, basically the fields are, you know, kind of divided. The growth says 1 month, but there is shitload of grass work to do, and we don't have a mower. I just found an old seat, is it, from the shed over there, so we're gonna use that. We'll see how that goes. How much time that will take, I don't know. Yeah, this is gonna be a little bit, probably few hours gonna go on that, but yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, and also I need to buy that pallet fork thingy, and also I need to go and get that this kind of a 3-point forage tool to get that thing out, the grass out of the ground. But we have here the seat. I don't know how it is. So okay, start engine and move that. Ooh. What the hell? Oh, I need to. Why is it like that? Okay, we'll see. It's really slow. Ah, doesn't this move faster? No. Can I put cruise control? Oh man, oh jeez. Yeah, well, I think I will take a help window open. Let's see how this works. I have no idea. I haven't tried it at all. And also I have a couple of what is it called in English? Which what is it called? Kind of a fork thing to make it in windrows. But let's take a help window open while he's trying to go there. Maybe field info. Okay, so what do we have here? We have lower turn on, basically the same as, you know. But I don't know what happens with this grass, this kind of a patches here, if I cut them. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe I will just, I'm not gonna be so, you know, accurate with this. Well, it doesn't feel, oh, okay, I'm in a vehicle, so yeah, that's why. So, turn on, okay, unfold, lower, unfold, lower, okay. turn on. And do I just now go, okay, so, god damn. I don't know, this is, looks just, well, it goes kind of fast, I think. I can't hire a worker, seems to be. What if I, do I have GPS? No. Okay, but we're gonna do it like this. And then need to get the, I think I'm gonna do a couple of strips and, yeah, but it's kind of a, we have to do it like this. We don't have the money, but we could always cut down trees, but I don't wanna cut those down too much. Yeah, when you do it like this, it kind of seems like really long field. What would be? It's a shame that this kind of these characters doesn't, these don't walk actually. So that's a little bit. It's just running, jogging or running really fast. Kind of would have liked to, that they just walk. Okay. Well, I think I will bring you back when we have gone a couple of times to the end and back, and then start windrow. I will get that forage tool from the shop. Yeah. We'll check how the windrowing goes. Yep, I will see you in a bit. All right, it took a while. I think I got gone 6 times over there and back, so back and forth 3 times, maybe, or 4. But anyway, I don't know why I kind of drove this here, because it goes really slow, but I just could have, make it a little quicker and take it to my hand, and where is it? Yeah, and run like this, but yeah, not always getting it, a little blondie still. And yeah, we got 2 options now. I have this here, and I think this comes with this hand baler also. But yeah, I don't know, or maybe not. But also we got this. So I think we're gonna try this. Maybe it's a little bit quicker. So now I'm kind of, now I'm taking the hand and we'll go like this. Alrighty. Let's see how. Okay. Start engine. Which way does it? Let's take a look. I would like to, okay, so it goes that way. Let's go to the other side. Yeah, and after this, I think we need to go to this store, yeah, and buy some gear. Yeah, I think so. Maybe I will just cut over there a little bit more and So drop object and turn it on. All right. Okay. So, oh, this goes 10. It's kind of a running. Okay. Oh my God. Look at that. Jiggles around. Oh my God, doesn't it fit? Yeah, maybe we'll try that when I go a little bit slower. It kind of. Let's try that other one also. Yeah, I kind of like it. I have, yeah. This is kind of a survival tools, you know. And I think I can maybe do a quite thick swath. Yeah, I just wish that we still had that FS19 season where I think it was 19, yeah, where you could just leave the grass and dry it in the sunshine. Yeah, well, it is what it is. Oh. Come on, why you do it like that? Well, I think I will. Well, yeah. I'll bring you back when I come back from that side, and let's try that other one. I wanna just show you how does it work if you haven't seen. I haven't seen. So I'll come back to you when I'm back on the other end. All right, so we have here the other one. Let's see how this goes. Enter the vehicle, and is this some same kind of animation? I don't know. Let's try to get this centered and turn on. I don't know. Maybe this looks a little bit. Yeah, this looks much better. Yes, sir. I think we're gonna use this guy. Yeah. Yeah, on these videos, I think, because I tried on the why the arms go like that. So I think oh my God, now I'm ruining it. Ow! Yeah, no. But you can do on the videos. I just noticed. I think I will use it. So you can reverse, and then it walks, and just get that video running backwards if you're doing a time lapse or montage or something. But the hand is a little bit stupid when you're reversing. Or is it? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but it looks much better if you reverse the playing. I don't know how does it. He's just kneeling a little bit and going. I don't know. We'll see how that if I use it that way. Okay, so so we take a look. It goes backwards also. So I think I will continue this, and I think I'll see you back. I'll just go to the store with the tractor and get that forage tool, and then I will just don't need to start and stop the recording so one time open. So yeah, let's do it like that. But I think this is much better than the other one. Yeah. I again see you in a bit. All right, coming back. Yeah, as you can see, I was able to purchase that pallet thing also at the same time, so can travel it with this. I don't know what the hell is, can you call it? Some kind of a fork, 3-point pitch fork, maybe. I will just call it forage tool. Yeah, so yeah, one thing was, damn, there was really nice Zito at discount, 24,000, but it's so expensive. Not in our league yet. Yeah, I will have to stick with these 500s, and yeah, that forage tool was 500 and those forks were only $350, so that is pretty good. Let's just leave that here. We'll need to get those products, and yeah, these are both are kind of cool that you can kind of get it away now. Do I need to? Oh damn, let's do it like that. Yeah, that 6-cylinder seater would have been nice. 155 horsepower. That would be quite a jump from this one. Yeah. And you are probably wondering, why am I collecting that grass? Yeah. We are not getting grass because we are getting hay. Obviously the TMR is pretty far away for the cows, but we have to settle to that 80% with hay. But we're gonna get those couple of those hay drying poles like in the old days, but with this guy we need to back up, and it's probably quite a pain to do. It takes forever, I think so. Ah well, it goes 10, should go. No, it goes 7. Not so bad at the job, this works fine. Yeah, I would be really impressed if I can do this whole field or some other field also. That would be pretty cool, but we'll see. So let's just jump in here, and I think we're gonna just put one here, near here. I don't give a damn that it destroys this grass, it's okay. So these guys hold 10,000. This would be really too much. I don't like it because it takes silage additive and 400,000 liters. So no, thank you. So is this? Yeah, we're gonna take this a little bit. How will I put it? So you just unload and load, and yeah, I'll put it like that. Is it straight? I think it is. I don't think, does it have to be straight, but let's put just like just here, maybe here. I'll put it here. Oh my god, why didn't I put the free mode on? Okay, we need to plow that in then, and that was pretty stupid thing. Let's try with free mode on this end. Let's put 2 of these. Maybe that 10,000 is pretty good. So over there, free mode is on. Well, now it's Okay, but I will plow them in. Maybe I will just decorate a little bit. I don't know. Let's just put something. Let's do something here. That's a little. Oh no, not here. That's a little bit. I think. Little bit of stupid thing. Should have maybe update this, you know, get a little bit different kind of because these usually are in the fields or at least here back in the day. Obviously I don't see these days. Can we just, if we paint put some, yeah, there is not this kind of a texture, but maybe we will just put that. Oh, come on, maybe we'll just put this one here, meadow, you know. Little bit better. It looks a little bit better. So, but why does it show all the time this, or do I have, or is it not just on the construction menu, or do I have that interactive thingy? Yeah, because these guys, when these have something done, I can feed straight to the cow. That would be awesome. Okay, so it doesn't show now. That. Oh, let's. Oh my God. Let's put it on. Where is it? So it's there. Okay, and you can load there. How does it tip? Okay, like so. Open mask, what is that? Okay, that's the hood, obviously. Yeah, look at that. And we just put, making it hay. Yeah. Pretty sweet, pretty sweet. This was my plan. Yeah. So, I think this is the episode for today, and I will do off-camera work because nobody wants to see some kind of a time lapse or anything doing this thing all day, probably many hours. So I will just continue with this, and I will just do, hopefully we are able to put this whole field to feed, yeah, on the cows, for the cows. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, on other field that I think it's, let's see here, that field 15 and 16 are pretty small, 16. So I could do bales from those. And yeah, that would be probably the best. Look at that, it's growing. Yeah, cool stuff. Yeah, so. And bales we will store it for the winter on that big bale storage that we have, that little bit of a hangar style. So yeah, and what else do I need to do then hopefully winter. Okay, it's just hopefully. Oh no. hopefully winter time we can collect some money out of those, out of those trees, make a whole lot of lumber and get things moving, and then maybe for the next spring get some little bit better gear for this grass work, because this is probably the only work that we are now able to do. We'll see. Yeah, if you liked it, yeah, hit that like, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and let's see how we can continue this challenge, kind of, or survival. Yeah, thanks for watching. See you later. Bye bye.
The cows are here. Hay will follow. But spring carries other reckonings. Prices rising, fuel thinning, rules changing. In Tallinn, they whisper about new money and a harder market. In Tässi, Peeter counts what's left and what must be risked next. Perhaps a trailer to keep the harvest moving. Freedom came with open doors. Now comes the cost of walking through them. Episode 5 awaits. Stay with us and subscribe to the channel.